Ala? We. Ndia Meru bakinyire Karen. Leo ni siku ya Wameru. Ni ya Wameru, si ya Wameru. Leo ni siku ya Wameru. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. Karibuni, 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 karibuni sana. Waheshimiwa viongozi wa jimbo la Meru, wote, governor, deputy governor, senator wetu ambaye ni kiongozi wetu wa Senate kama naibu speaker, governor wetu wa zamani, Waziri Kiraitu Murungi, my senior, viongozi wote wa bunge, my colleagues, members of parliament, MCAs, wakiongozwa na speaker, our professionals who are here. Tuko na waziri wetu wa maji, tuko na PSs wetu, PS Kilemi yako hapa, PS Roslyn Njogu, tuko na PS Mugambi, tuko na other senior government officials ambaye sitataja majina yao yote. Tuko na chairpersons, directors in various parastatals, business leaders, tuko na viongozi wetu wa dini, tuko na viongozi wetu wa siasa wa zamani, tuko na wazee, akina mama, viongozi wa vijana, viongozi kutoka mashinani kule Meru County. All protocols observed. Kambuke thie kaire mugeni. Muwakairi. Wacha nichukue nafasi hii niongee nikiwa wa kwanza ili niwajulishe maana na madhumuni ya mkutano wa leo. Na kwa sababu mimi ndio nilikuwa nimeitana, uniruhusu tu nianzishe majadiliano. Si namna hiyo? Ile siku mtanialika, nyinyi ndio mtaanza. Na kwa sababu mimi ndiye nimewaalika, wacha nianze leo. Si namna hiyo? Kana mtu aweta to mwanko mwekanya kwelimbia uweterete. So next time ukinialika, nyinyi ndio mtaanza. Lakini leo wacha nianze ili nieleze kwa nini nilikuwa request mfike leo. Niseme ya kwamba wakati nilitumana kupitia viongozi wenu, nilisema ya kwamba mkutano wa leo ni mkutano wa kuongea mambo ya maendeleo ya kaunti yetu ya Meru. And I think that is a good place to start, that today's focus is how the national government, working with your leaders, can expedite and unlock development projects for the people of Meru County. Niwashukuru kwa kuitikia mwito. Kwa sababu huu sio mkutano wa lazima, ni mkutano wa hiari. It's a voluntary meeting. And you would have chosen either to come or not to come. I thank you for choosing to come. Niwakaribisha hapa katika makao rasmi ya naibu wa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Niwaulize mjisikie nyumbani, na kwa sababu leo ni siku ya Meru County, msiwe na haraka kutoka hii mahali. Take your time. Leo ni siku ya Meru County, si namna hiyo? So you take time, tutakuwa na majadiliano mazuri. A few other people will speak. We'll see how to organize ourselves. We discuss about our agenda. Tutakuwa na chai, tutakuwa na lunch. Tutarudi, tuongee. Na tukimaliza mkutano, msiwe na haraka kuondoka. After the meeting is over, tukimaliza agenda ya maendeleo, you hang around here, walk around here, mchukue selfie. Tuko hata na swimming pool, wale Gen Z wako hapa. Tuko hapa na swimming pool. Najua wengine wetu tumekuwa wazee, lakini kuna Gen Z hapa. Tuko na swimming pool, kama uko na swimming costumes, unaweza ogelea hapa. Niseme katika manifesto yetu ya Kenya Kwanza, wengi wa viongozi wenu tulikuwa timu moja. Most of your leaders, we were on the same side when President William Ruto was seeking the presidency of Kenya. We were one team. We went in every county and discussed with the communities and the leadership and the people of each county to agree on the priorities for that county if William Ruto would be elected as president. We did not stop there. Once we agreed on those priorities, we wrote those priorities down into county economic charters, which the president signed on behalf of our party as a commitment of the things he will give priority when he becomes president under his administration. Na kwa sababu mimi ndio nilikuwa naongoza ile team ilikuwa inaandika manifesto, I am very clear in my mind yale makubaliano tuliandikiana ambao tutapea priority ya kimaendeleo katika county zote 47. Na tukaandika kwa hiyo manifesto pale ya kwamba kila mwaka, every year, chama chetu kikiwa sasa ndi serikali kitaita mkutano wa county zote, county by county. Kila county inaitwa at the end of every year to evaluate the progress made in achieving the manifesto commitments during that year. Every year for 5 years. And the role of convening follow-up and manifesto implementation programs was assigned to the deputy party leader who would then become the deputy president. Kwa manifesto tukasema moja ya kazi za naibu wa rais itakuwa kuzingatia kila mwaka kaunti zote 47 kuhakikisha kwamba yale mambo serikali imesema itafanya, kama imefanya, imefika wapi, ni nini imefanyika, nini bado haijafanyika, kwa nini haijafanyika, na ieleze viongozi na wananchi what government is doing. Unfortunately, tulichelewa kidogo, hatujafanya hiyo kazi since 2022. So tumeanza sahi kufanya hiyo kazi. So tunaomba radhi tulichelewa. We should have done that in 2023. We should also have done that in 2024. This should be actually the third one. Lakini as they say, better late than never. Kweli si kweli? Because a government must give account to the people and to the leaders of what it is doing, and to explain if there are things we said we should do and we have not done, explain the reason. We call that public accountability. So hii mikutano tumeanza sasa. I think Meru now is the 8th or 9th county. Ilianza Taita Taveta, kaenda Embu, nikaenda Kajiado, nikaenda Tharaka Nithi, nikaenda Isiolo, nikaenda Samburu. I think this is and Kiambu last week, 7th. So Meru is the 8th. I have 39 other forums like this in the next 60 days, because we must close this agenda for this year. So hii mkutano tunafanya leo ni mkutano ya naibu wa rais kwa niaba ya rais na kwa niaba ya serikali kueleza watu ya Meru County ile hatua serikali imepiga na ile mipango ya kimaendeleo tuko nayo kati ya sasa na mwaka wa 2027 when the first term of President Ruto will come to an end. So going forward, tuko na miaka ingine miwili. Ndio tuulizane, we were here last year, you told us we are here, where are we now? How many new roads? How many new water projects? How many new electricity connections? Because that is the only way we can engage with the people and explain ourselves and our agenda as government. Kwa hivyo mkutano wa leo ni mkutano ya maendeleo. Najua mambo ya siasa, there are people here from different parties. But today we are not discussing party politics. We are discussing the development agenda of the governing administration. Najua pia tuko na mateso ingine kidogo ya kisiasa. And by the way, it is not unique in Meru County. It is everywhere. Political issues, political differences, they are normal because politics is competitive. Na watu wamekosana hapa, wanang'ang'ania viti, that's okay. So today is not our day to discuss our political issues. Kwa sababu, if we mix the agenda we are discussing today with our political differences, our people will lose. Today we want to discuss how to unlock the stalled road projects, how to add more water projects, how to add more power projects. If what we want done is done, our people will benefit. Isn't it? In between, they will choose somebody to be a governor, another one to be a senator, another one to be an MP, but that is a political process. It must be separated from Tumeona tumechukua muda kidogo na viongozi wetu, tumekubaliana leo sio ile siku tafadhali. Wakati because it will be terrible for the people of Meru County requested the people watu yetu hawatatusamea. They will never forgive us, isn't it? So leo mtaniruhusu, sio ile siku. And unajua shida sio hawa viongozi, shida ni supporters. Ndio wanachochea ndio wanawaambia mheshimiwa lazima sijui useme, lazima uonekane. So today, amkubaliani na mimi? Amkubaliani na mimi? The problem of every politician, me included, is my supporters. Hao ndio shida ile kubwa. Hao ndio wanakuchochea, lazima uonyesha misuli, abana. But in the process, if you are a leader and you allow to be excited by your followers, you lose the focus. You lose the focus. And the eyes of the people are on you because you are the leader. You must lead. So mimi nimeshukuru. We have agreed that today, let us focus on development ya watu yetu. We will have another opportunity many times to discuss many other things. When President Ruto was elected and sworn in on 13th of September 2022, the economy of Kenya was in very bad shape. Many people, especially those who are in Azimio and other groups, they think when we say the economy was bad, we are trying to attack the previous administration. It is not true. The economy was doing badly because for 1.5 years, the entire country and its economic activity was shut down because of COVID-19. That is what destroyed our economy. Ile COVID, kwa sababu tulifungiwa kwa nyumba mwaka na nusu, karibu miaka miwili. Si ni kweli? Hakuna biashara inaendelea. There is no business. Hotels were closed. Transportation came to a halt. Nobody is working. So there is no productivity. So that is what destroyed our economy. By the time President Ruto was taking over, 1 shilling was exchanging at 165, 167 to the dollar. And it was losing value every day. Food prices were increasing every day. Unga hii ya ugali, 2 kilos ilikuwa 250, 260, 240. And if food prices are high, that's a major political and economic crisis. That's why our friends in Azimio were doing those demonstrations about unga. Because food, if people cannot get food at affordable prices, it becomes a political and economic issue. For the last 2 years, President Ruto has worked extremely hard to turn around the fundamentals of macroeconomic stability, in the sense that the broad economic variables that influence the cost of living, which were going haywire, are moderated today and they are under control. Let me explain. Unajua mtu akitoka pale Nkobo ama pale Maua ama Betunguu ama Charia ama Kerua, atauliza sasa mambo ya dola inahusu mimi nini? How does the dollar or the strength of the shilling, what is the connection between the strength of the shilling and myself? Ile vitu watu yetu wananunua pale Meru town, most of those items kwa maduka ya Wahindi, they are imported products from abroad. The people who import those products import them using foreign exchange, mainly the dollar. If the shilling is weak, the person bringing those items will use more Kenya shillings to import one container. And therefore, the price of those items to our people will be very high. If the shilling is strong, to import one container, you'll need less shillings per dollar. The prices will be moderated. That is the connection between the common mwananchi and the strength of the currency. If the shilling is strong, the shilling will have more purchasing power, and the products that come that are required in our household will cost less. Today, the shilling, which was exchanging at 167 against the dollar, is at 127, 128. Today, the price of unga, 2 kilos, which was 230, 240, 250, 260, is somewhere between 100, 110, 120. Today, the inflation, the escalation of prices of essential commodities, which was at 9.6% monthly, is now 3%, 2.9, 2.7%. Interest rates for our business people. Najua ule mtu ako na kabiashara kake somewhere hapo Meru, ameajiri watu 3, 4. They need affordable credit to expand their micro or small business so that they can employ a few more people. Interest rates were very high. You have seen today interest rates in the commercial banks have started coming down. All those interventions, reducing interest rates, reducing inflation, strengthening the shilling, reducing food prices, has not happened by guesswork. It has happened by hard work of President Ruto and his administration. Very painful decisions we had to make. So the revenue we were collecting, we were applying it to stabilize food prices, to stabilize fuel prices. Remember, fuel prices had gone up to 217 a liter. And today now it is in the region of 165, 167. So that is what has taken our 2 years. Heavy lifting, hard decisions. And today, what remains now for the remainder of the term, 2.5 years now, is now to build on that strong foundation of a strong macroeconomic performance to roll out programs and projects that will easily now increase the amount of money in the pocket of the individual. Hiyo ndio biashara tumebaki nayo. Si tulisema pesa mfukoni? But you cannot have programs for increasing household incomes when inflation is escalating, when the shilling, the currency is weakening, when interest rates are high, when food prices are high. Therefore, most of the money went into subsidized fertilizer. And today, for the first time in 16 years, Kenya will not import even 1 bag of maize. When we came into office in 2022, we had to give permits for importing 10 million bags of maize. The second year, the amount of imports went down to around 7 million. This year, we will import 0 bags of maize. Subsidized fertilizer, other interventions to strengthen that value chain, And we are doing that for other value chains. So that is what has occupied us for the last 2 years. But you see, we didn't have this forum to explain to the people what we are doing. And that's why government was getting the bashing it was getting. And some other characters who are opposed to this administration who are busy poisoning the public, telling them this government is doing nothing. Because unless you handle macroeconomic factors, it's like building a house. You must first dig the foundation, and then you start building upwards. So those interventions were necessary. It is unlikely that fuel prices will increase again in the near future. It is very unlikely. Small adjustments, but nothing to worry about. Today, we are not going to import sugar. If we imported the sugar, it will be less than 100 metric tons, 100,000 metric tons, because our consumption is about 1 million metric tons, and we have now produced over 900 metric tons. The gap is very small. For the first time in 22 years, Kenya will not import sugar. And you've seen the rating agencies, which are run by foreign governments. They have been very hostile. They have never rated Kenya positively for the last 15 years. For the first time, they said the economy of Kenya is looking upwards. 2 months ago. Actually, 1 month ago. So that is what we've been doing. Going forward, we must now add money to the pockets of Kenyans. How? How? What are the priorities? Our priorities are in 5 pillars, and I've already disposed the first pillar, macroeconomic stability. The first pillar of this government is to ensure the prices of essential commodities, the prices of fuel, the prices of basic household items do not keep on escalating, interest rates decrease, inflation also is under control, and the Kenyan shilling, our currency, remains strong. Because if there is a reversal on those indicators, we'll go back to where we were in 2022. Mafuta ikipanda tena, unga ikipanda, bei ya bidhaa muhimu ikipanda, tutarudi mahali tulikuwa. So we are keeping an eye on macroeconomic stability to make sure that there is no reversal of the gains made so far. Na hii interest rate umeona Equity Bank, Coop Bank, KCB, they have reduced interest rates by between 2 and 3%. Next month, it will come down again. The central bank, this interest rate is controlled by the central bank lending rates. Banks were not lending businesses money because government was borrowing that money. Now we are not borrowing that money. So the banks will be forced to come and look for customers to give credit, the way it was in the first years of Mwai Kibaki's administration. So that's what we are doing, macroeconomic stability. Number 2, because I said there are 5 pillars, it is working on the value chains, the production, marketing of the value chains where the majority of the people of Kenya derive their daily income. Where do the people of Kenya get their daily income from? Agriculture. Somebody is either a farmer, livestock. They keep livestock either for meat or dairy. In some counties, they are fisher folk. They are fisher people, fishermen. the blue economy, the fisheries, and the economy of Kenya. About 80% of the people, they derive directly their income from those very primary sectors: agriculture, livestock, fisheries, and perhaps mining activities. We call it the primary sector. So we have spent the last 2 years, and we are going to spend the next 2.5 years increasing the value and the income of our agricultural production. And that's where Meru County comes in, because Meru County is largely an agriculture county. In 2022, the country earned 158 billion shillings foreign exchange from tea. In 2022, the country earned 158, thereabouts, billion shillings from the sale of tea. In 2023, the figure rose from 158 billion to 181 billion. In 2024, the figure rose again from 181 billion to 211 billion. That is tea. Coffee. In 2022, the sale at the coffee exchange, commodity exchange, are 50 bag of cherry. The average price in 2022, a bag of cherry was in the average of $160 per bag. That figure rose in 2023 from 160 to 180, not 160, 180. It rose from 180 to an average of $225 per 50 kilogram bag of cherry. In 2024, it rose again from an average of $225 to $319 per 50 kilogram bag. The actual income from coffee in 2022 was about 60 shillings per kilogram of cherry to the farmer. In 2023, the value or the income from coffee rose from an average of 60 shillings per kilogram of cherry to 80 shillings a kilo to the farmer. In 2024, the figure, which was at 80, rose to 101 shillings per kilo. Hiyo ndio report card. And we want to upscale. 2026, we'll give a report. 2027, we'll give a report before we go to the ballot. Isn't it? So that is the agenda. I've just given you tea and coffee because those are primary cash crops for many parts of Meru. I have told you what we are doing for sugar, because even if we don't grow sugar, we consume sugar. If sugar is expensive, it affects all of us, isn't it? So the interventions we have made, again, in tea and coffee are many. I don't have to say what we have done to make that happen. But part of it is the fertilizer. The other part is in organizing governance, bringing new law, and handling the bottlenecks that were restricting good value to farmers. And we are not done yet. We have a lot of unfinished work. Nimesema mambo ya sugar. Now we are sugar sufficient. They are even getting bonus for the first time. Sugar was introduced, sugarcane farming was introduced in Kenya in 1922. The first time sugarcane farmers got a bonus was last month under the leadership of President William Ruto. They don't even know what a bonus is. The workers were not being paid. The staff were not being paid. All the factories had closed. Now the factories are back. Production is high. Workers are being paid, and they are even getting, the farmers are getting not just their payment, but also bonus. I can go on and on and on. We have about 17 value chains. Many of them are value chains relevant to Meru County. We are working on the lower areas on cotton. We are going to bring back the ginaries before the next election. Because the lower parts, for example, of Central Imenti, there was a ginary there called Gaitu. Another one in Mitungo, in lower South Imenti. And we're also exploring whether other lower parts of Nyambene could be good for cotton growing, and we put up something there as well. We are working on so many other value chains. I don't have the time to tell you all the agricultural value chains. I will tell you how we will do follow-up, because this meeting is not enough for me to elaborate all the interventions. We are working on sunflower, we are working on cotton, we are working on edible oil crops like avocado, macadamia, the nuts, all those value chains, tea, coffee, potatoes, and everything else in between. And I am following crop by crop, crop by crop, crop by crop. That is my business as Deputy President of Kenya. Not just for Meru County, but for all the counties of Kenya. Sijamaliza. Si bei imeongezeka last week. Si bei serikali imegazeti new prices last week. Si waziri, huyu waziri wetu hapa, si uno hiyo kazi mimi ndio nimefanya? Ama ulisema nani alifanya? Uliwaambia? Uliwaambia mimi ndio niliamurisha waziri wa kilimo afanye hiyo kazi? Uliwaambia nilikuwa nimeamurishwa na William Ruto? Wanajua? You know, sometimes you don't say it. There is no way a minister of William Ruto can gazette without the permission of the president. Na amri ilitoka kwa mtu ya mkono ya yeah. Hii mambo mingi tunafanya hata hatusemangi. You don't say, you just do. You don't have to say, you just do. When it is done, you'll have a very easy. Shida yetu ni kusema mambo mingi na hakuna ile itafanyika. Na mimi, kwa sababu tutaagana vile tutafanya follow up tukimaliza mkutano wa leo. Mimi nataka muniwekee mtihani. Si namna hiyo? Uniwekee nini? Yeah. Kwa niaba ya rais na kwa niaba ya serikali, we must explain every year what is it that we have done to make Meru better than we found it. Kuna watu wanaongea siasa mingi hapo ya excitement, ya kufurahisha kupigiwa makelele huko nje na makofi. Sisi, rais ametufundisha tusiende hiyo barabara. Yes. Hata afadhali we be heckled now and get it right at the election at the ballot. So we are very focused. Na unajua hii kazi ya maendeleo is boring work. It's not exciting. Raia wanapenda excitement, sarakasi, vipindi, drama. Hey. Transformation work is costly, is expensive. So unaambiwa mtu mambo ya cotton, mambo ya sijui ya tea, you know, anataka kuchochewa, anataka uchochezi. Tupige nani, tupigie nduru nani. And you know, mwanadamu ameumbwa tu hivyo. Very simple. Ndio nasema Mimi ni jirani yenu. Mimi natoka hapa nyumbani tu. I'm one of you. Si namna hiyo? The only way I can be valuable to you is you ask me, what is it that we can say you have assisted us to unlock as Deputy President of Kenya for the people of Meru? The issue is not how long I will stay in this office. That's the least of my worries. That is the least of my issues. The same for President Ruto. Naona watu wengine wanamutisha, sijui atakuwa sijui term moja, sijui term ngapi. Does it really matter? It doesn't matter how long you stay in office. What matters is what you do while in office. Yeah. So wale wanategea sisi hapo, they are just wasting their time. Should look for other things to do. Yeah. And you know, a leader doesn't have to be popular all the time. But a good leader knows when to be popular. Knows the timing, when popularity is important. Because there are many people who shine in between hapa katikati, but when it matters, si wanazama. So, I was with the president the other day in northern Kenya. I saw some people making a lot of fun about the long road he was explaining. And actually, I was very happy when I saw people trying to mock the president, because I have information which they don't have. That road is going to be constructed. Yeah. The people saying that, they don't know. This government is going to construct a road from Isiolo to Mandera in the next 2.5 years. There are 11 contractors on the ground as we speak, each with a stretch of about 100+ kilometers. Some sections, 40%, 50% is already tarmacked. But because the person making just ako kwa simu hapo, ajui Samata ni wapi, ajui Kotulo ni wapi, ajui sijui ni wapi. So anafanya mzaha. And you know, when 2027 comes and we go to account, we will use that road from Isiolo to Mandera. That's how you open that part of the country. So msiwe na wasiwasi. Msiwe na wasiwasi. Msiwe na wasiwasi. Niona wengine wananifundisha kazi. Unajua kaa hivi, Deputy President akaanga hivi. My friend, si ushughulike na kazi yako. Yeah, shughulika na kazi yako, my friend. Yeah. When that time comes, si mimi ni Deputy President, mtihani yangu sio ya rais, itakuwa ya deputy. Ama si mtu ya form 4 anapewa mtihani ya form 4, mtu ya university anapewa mtihani ya degree, mtu ya form 1, mtu ya primary, mtu ya PP1. Mimi ni deputy rais. Mtihani yangu ni ya deputy rais. I will pass with flying colors. Nitapita ile A****. Kwa hiyo level, kwa hiyo kiwango. Because kazi ya naibu wa rais ni kusaidia rais, sio kupigana na rais. That is not the job description. Hiyo ya kupigana na rais ni ya opposition. Opposition kazi yao ni kupiga rais na serikali yake. Kama wewe ni deputy president, kazi yako ni kusaidia rais kwa udi na uvumba, mchana usiku, kulia kushoto. Yeah. Kama hutaki kumsaidia utoke. Yeah, join opposition. Ukijoin opposition, hakuna mtu ako na haja na wewe. You can do what the opposition does. So siku ile tutafika pale, kwa sababu watu wanatutisha sijui mambo ya sijui 27, na nimesema that does not worry us anyway. Mimi nitaambiwa wewe ukiwa deputy president miaka 2 hapa Meru County, kabla tuongee tuambie ni nini umetuletea, barabara ngapi, sijui nini, mambo ya miraa imefika wapi, mambo ya stima imefika wapi. Simple. Yeah. So if I explain myself, sasa nitetee mtu yangu, bosi yangu sasa. Kwa sababu singefanya kama hakuwa ameidhinisha. Isn't it? So it's as simple as that. Na itakuwa tu mzuri. It will be okay. Things will be very okay. Si sasa wale wanasema sijui watapinga rais, wengine walikuwa vice president, wengine deputy president, wengine walikuwa sijui mawaziri, wengine sijui walikuwa, so everybody ataulizwa. Alikuwa deputy president, mama vice president, mwaka 5, mwaka the people you represent get something and of value from this administration. Siwe na waziwazi. So mambo ya miraa ni hivyo, mambo ya maziwa, that is the last example. I said we can't give all the examples. When we went campaigning, Mheshimiwa Mutunga was reminding me earlier on when we had the leaders meeting. When we were campaigning, there is something we promised the people of Kenya, especially farmers and livestock keepers, called guaranteed minimum returns. We are tracking progress on the achievement of the GMRs. Ya maziwa, we had set it at how much? At 50. We found it at 33. We are already at 50. In fact, we want to surpass. We want to surpass our own target. So, value change is the second pillar. In agriculture, livestock, mining, fisheries, and blue economy. In every part of the country, we have interventions we are making. This will bring more money to the pockets of Kenyans. That is the target. Maziwa bei ikiwa juu, mkulima anapata bei zaidi. The same with the tea, coffee, cotton, sunflower, macadamia, miraa, and all these other crops. The third pillar of interventions is providing the support infrastructure that will make the value chains generate wealth and incomes for the people of Kenya. What is the support infrastructure? Roads, electricity, ICT connectivity because of e-commerce, water, industries. And that's why we are doing the county aggregation and industrial parks in every county. Dignified markets where people can do business in an orderly way. So this infrastructure of roads, electricity, water, ICT, special economic zones, county aggregation and industrial parks, and so forth, and markets. We are on top of things. God has been gracious. The economy has recovered. We now have money. And I want to announce, we will revive the stalled road projects in Meru County. So leo, hakuna haja hata muniambie sijui, senti kunene, kwenda Miamponi, sijui ingine. Those roads, natembea nazo zikiwa hapa. Okay? They will be revived. They will be revived. Now, tafadhali, tuambiane ukweli. These roads were begun in President Uhuru's time, isn't it? Lakini ile kisirani iko is as if it is William Ruto who started these roads and stalled them. These roads were begun in 2015, 2016, and they stalled even in the first term of Uhuru Kenyatta. Na hakuna mtu alipigia Uhuru Kenyatta makelele. Tuambiane ukweli. Yeah, tuambiane ukweli. Some of them, like zile kule Tharaka Nithi, I'm the one when I was Senate Majority Leader who launched most of them. The others, President Uhuru came himself with his deputy. The inter-county ones, like hii ya Geaki Miamponi, tulifanya na Daudi. Tulitumwa na Uhuru Kenyatta, tukafanya na Daudi. Ile ya kuteremukia hapo kushikanisha Tharaka na sehemu hii ya Imenti North. Lakini ile kelele rais anapigiwa is as if those roads were started yesterday and they stopped. Well, umesikia Uhuru Kenyatta anapigiwa makelele Meru? Kwa nini? He was president for 10 years. Yeah. The second time hata hakukanyanga Meru, the entire 5 years. But we still our leader, there is no problem. We are not blaming him. But why are you blaming President Ruto? And we are accounting for, we are saying this is what we are doing and this is what we are doing, and you can see some of the effects of our efforts are bearing fruits. Why don't you give us time? It's not fair. We will revive the stalled road projects. Na hiyo ni kazi yangu. Sio ndio mtihani moja? Sio ndio mtihani moja? Basi. Mungu ametujalia, maadui wetu walikuwa wametutegea hapo kwa barabara. Lakini sasa tumepata pesa. Tuko na pesa. Because where the money was going to stabilize those macroeconomic things, it's not necessary now. Tuko na pesa ya kutosha ya kurevive stalled road projects. Na tumesema before we start new ones, let us complete the old ones first. Yeah. So nitawaambia how we'll unlock that. We have money for stima, last mile connectivity. We have about 36 billion already, and another 12 billion itakuwa inaingia this Thursday. So we are good. Mambo ya last mile tuko sawa. We have money for markets. We are constructing the KIPES. And I want to commend the Meru County Aggregation and Industrial Park is one of the best in terms of completion. It is nearly 70%. Meru, Migori, ndio iko karibu na completion. Zingine iko 5%, zingine iko 0%. Some have not even broken ground. We want every county to have an aggregation and industrial park as a way of spurring value addition, more money to the pockets of traders and business people, and as a way also of creating jobs for our young people. Tuendelee tusiendelee? Sio ndio agenda ya serikali? So, support infrastructure. We are doing ICT apps. That program is a bit delayed. We are trying to unlock it, of making sure every ward there is an ICT app. To create digital jobs, e-commerce, and make good use of our young people, even as they look for employment. Some of the jobs are available if they have access to online internet facilities. So other than the support infrastructure, I've told you, I think we have about, how many markets are being built in Meru now by the national government? About 14. There are very many. So nitakuja kuziangalia. I'm coming to inspect progress. Ndio isikwame. Hiyo ndio kazi ya Deputy Rais. Hiyo ndio kazi ya Deputy Rais. Ndio ikikamilika mwenyewe akuje afungue. My brother Mporo was reminding me, kuna soko rais alisema hapo Murika. Hiyo sasa sio kazi ya rais, ni kazi yangu kukuamua ikikamilika rais akuja afungue. Si namna hiyo? Zile barabara nimesema mimi nakuja, contractor akikuja nakuja namleta, ama naangojea anaanza kazi na inspect. Hata kuna moja mahali nakuja kuinspect in the next 2 weeks. Kwa sababu ilikuwa imekwama na tumepata pesa ya kukamilisha. I just asked the treasury kulipa that contractor today. So nakuja na inspect, ikikamilika sasa tunaita rais anakuja kufungua. But in the past, badala tusaidia rais, sisi wenyewe ndio tunampiga. His own team. A house divided cannot stand. We will inspect the Cape, we will inspect the markets, we will do a bit of last mile, just to make sure the contractors are psyched up to complete those electricity projects and all the other national government projects. Right now, the area in that support infrastructure where we are trying to streamline ni mambo ya maji. And I have told the water ministry, we need to sit down and get a good program to take to the president for water. Na tusiweke mchezo waziri. The Meru County, big portion of Meru County, the challenge is just water. So waziri, tuko na kibarua, my brother. Tuko kwa mtihani. So usinini, but we have agreed, atakuja na PSS, you can sit down waziri. Atakuja na PSS, we have a good program for water in Meru and other parts of Kenya, all the counties of Kenya. We have managed to unlock roads and electricity, but we need some homework to unlock resources for water. Na hiyo kazi tutafanya. Number 4, the 4th pillar is job creation. Hiyo ndio inaleta pesa kwa mifuko ya wananchi. Macroeconomic stability, value chains in agriculture, livestock and fisheries. Thirdly, it is support infrastructure, roads, electricity, and all the Capes and markets. Number 4, job creation. Job creation. We are trying to create as many jobs as we can for the young people of Kenya. And we want to make sure every county has equitable access to job opportunities created through the effort of the government of Kenya. So we are creating jobs locally through the normal public sector opportunities, but also growing the private sector so that it can employ more people. We call that program Kazi kwa Ground, Kazi hapa kwa ground. Public sector and private sector employment, job creation and employment opportunities. But we also have the housing program. Right now the housing program is absorbing about 200,000 young people across Kenya. Meru County alone, about 5,000-6,000 young people who for the next several years have short-term jobs as plumbers, electricians, masons, carpenters, architects, engineers, and even watu ya mkono, watu ya mjengo. And there are people making fun about the housing program. They have no idea the economic transformative power of that project. They keep on saying how Singapore is #1 in the world without realizing one of the variables that has increased the wealth and the human development index of Singapore is their quality of dwellings, the housing, and the economy it is sparse. So the housing project is on. We are creating jobs through the housing program, public sector employment, private sector expansion to create more jobs, kazi kwa ground. Hata hizo markets na KIPES ni vijana wetu wanajenga, ni mafundi wetu, ni carpenters wetu. But we are also creating jobs digitally. That's why we are investing in the ICT hubs. And finally, we are saying young people who have qualifications and they are yet to find jobs at home. We are looking for jobs anywhere in the world. Young people can go work from anywhere, invest in our country, save money, and they are always welcome to come back and build their country when they want to return home. So the PS for Labor, the PS for Diaspora Affairs, they are working on Kazi Maju program. And we'll have an explanation. Na tumeambia huyu msichana wetu Roslyn Jogo. She will account for all the 47 counties, how many jobs we've created abroad for Kenya, na tutamuuliza wa Meru wangapi tupepeleka huko. So that we account for ourselves. If this government in 5 years can help 100,000 or 50,000 young people from Meru to get jobs abroad and others at home and others digital jobs, it will be a good explanation to give. So we are keeping records. Other than job creating, lastly, the last pillar, because all those 4 pillars are economic in nature. Macroeconomic stability, support infrastructure, job creation, very important, social enabler. Education. Education. Which is private. Ni mbili. There is Mariene and Marimba. There is no problem. Hata ikiwa 5 ni sawa. Don't worry. Don't worry. Sasa ile mtihani niko nayo ni kuenda kukuamua hizo vitu. Si namna hiyo? We have other projects that are broad, which we are trying to see how we can influence. One of them is the dualing of the hii barabara yetu. We need to dual our road, isn't it? Yeah. Kuna pia mambo ya Isiolo Airport runway kwa sababu ya biashara yetu pale. And there's other projects like the Metongo airstrip which can help us. Yeah? So musiwe na wasiwasi. Musiwe na wasiwasi. I'm going to give you a framework of how we will follow all these things together and make sure that I use this office to unlock and expedite our projects. Wale wengine wananifundisha kazi ingine ya naibu wa rais, mimi sijui kazi ingine. Kazi ni hiyo nimewaambia. That is the work I know. That is how I can be beneficial to President William Ruto and this administration. Niseme ntikoenda mnokwaria na kinyumbani unto it's an official function. Wacha tu niseme hivi. You know, once you say that, you even arouse curiosity. People will want interpretation. But let me say this. You know, we are here to discuss the development of Meru County. I know I come from that area, but that is part of Kenya, isn't it? It's part of Kenya. Yeah. Yeah, it deserves development. It's part of Kenya. The fact that the deputy president was born there is not an issue. It's not a problem. Because other leaders were also born somewhere else. There's no problem. Yeah? So, kuna watu wanafikiri sijui tunaogopa kusema mahali tumezaliwa. The only thing where I don't agree with some people, there are people who are telling us that for us to develop the places maybe where we were born or grew up, we must isolate and discriminate against other parts of Kenya. Is that the route you want Kenya to take? So I am Deputy President of Kenya. I will support the development of every part, every county of Kenya, including Meru County, including the Tharaka Nithi County. Si namna hiyo? It's as simple as that. And you know, some of the big development projects we saw during the time of the late Mzee Kibaki, during the time of President Uhuru, you've seen some good development projects in many parts of Kenya, including our region. Si Thika Superhighway ilifanywa na Mzee Kibaki. Akaturahisishia safari between Nairobi and Keno. But he also did other mega projects in Western, in Nyanza, in Coast. But he also did one for the central region, including ourselves. Because our journey now is shorter, and even if we have to draw from, we will take it from Makutano, kuipeleka pane ya Embu, isn't it? But these things, President Kibaki did without any tribalism. Hakuna hata siku alisema vile anapenda Wakikuyu. Hakuna hata siku moja. Hata ungeenda kwa Kibaki, ukiwa umetoka hii region yetu, uanze kuongea Kikuyu, Kibaki would have slapped you or asked that you leave. But he did many things that profited the people of the region where he came from, without climbing trees to announce how he loves the people. Ne maka natoma. No maka atoma. President Uhuru did a lot of transformational projects ndiye alianzisha ile Dungukundu ya Mombasa. He did some in Kisumu. He did other projects including the Isiolo Moyale Road. He did Kibaki actually for us. Let me bring it home even. Kibaki is the one who did for us Mati Road. Isn't it? Kuna siku ulisikia Kibaki akisema vile anapenda watu ya Mount Kenya, sijui watu ya Meru. He used to talk about Kenya. And he did what he did for various parts of Kenya, including our area. President Uhuru also did a lot of projects across Kenya. But one of the projects that is home, is nearer to our region, the dual carriageway which Mzee Kibaki left at Keno, aliisukuma ikaenda mpaka Marwa. True or false? Najua tukifika pale makutano tunapiga kona, lakini bado alitufufishia safari. Kuna siku ulisikia Uhuru akitangaza bila anatupenda? Si alikuwa anasema anapenda Kenya yote? Na alifanya that in other parts of the country. So hii ukabila, mtu asikudanganye ati ndio uonekane wewe ni maarufu, unaenda kupiga kelele ya ukabila na uko na nafasi ya uongozi katika taifa. It is wrong. It is unconstitutional. Sijui kama tunaelewana? Yeah, that is the ideological differences we are having with some of our colleagues. Because they want us to shout, oh, I'm doing this, I come from here. But today, Wameru wanaishi kila mahali katika nchi ya Kenya. So if you develop everywhere, you are also supporting our people there. Wakati nilikuwa minister wa security, I spent a lot of time in some of the hotspots. I came to Meru North severally. I may not have come much to the other parts of the county because the security challenges were less. I spent time in North Rift. I spent times in Lamu. Ukienda pale Lamu, half of that county ni Wameru, Wakikuyu, Wadharaka. They're the ones who live there. So ukipeleka siasa ya chuki na ukabila, you are endangering the peaceful coexistence of the people you claim to be speaking for who live in those kind of areas. Ndio uliona kuna siku mimi nitakuja hapa kusimama kuongea mambo ya ukabila ati niwaambie vile nawapenda. Ati tangaza vile unatupenda. Mimi nitangaze aje sasa? Why? Yeah. But on the other hand, nimewaambia Meru ni Kenya. Meru si ni Kenya? Si mimi ni deputy president ya Kenya? Si Meru ni Kenya? Bas, hiyo tosha. Hiyo inatosha. Yeah. Ati ho, sijui nini. Now, I wish the people who want to sell tribalism to us could explain to us what they did with their positions when they had those positions. Na ikifika hiyo ndio itakuwa, that will be the contest. Contest ikifika itakuwa wewe toa nini yako na wewe toa achievement yako. That's all. Mtu atajaribu kuongea kosa ya kusema. Yeah, so we are good. Musiwe na wasiwasi. Mimi nitakuja mashinani because we need to unlock some things before the president comes. Hatutaki rais akuje to inspect projects which we are not sure there is enough funding, the project will be completed. We want to spare the president from doing a lot of routine things or from announcing something which he has not been briefed properly that it has an end-to-end solution. And that's the problem we have been having. And my colleagues who are in government, ministers, PSs, sometimes we are the ones who are embarrassing the president by inviting him to an event, and you know very well you are not sure that project is end-to-end funded. So wacha sisi tusukumane na hii kitu. Afadhali mimi ni inspect kitu, ikikwama mimi nipate hiyo embarrassment. But by the time the president comes, anakuja kufungua either a complete project or if he is inspecting, we are very sure there is an end-to-end solution for that project. Ndio tuondolee rais watu hapa kumkejeli na mambo kidogo tu ya upuzi, and part of it is just us. Sasa tuko hapa na wakubwa, ma-PSs wako hapa, tuko na CS hapa, tuko hata huyu jirani yenu huyu Dr. Kanga, ile mambo mnasukuma hapo ya National Park. Huyu ndiye mkubwa ya National Park, wewe Kanga. Resolve that issue ya Meru National Park hapo. Si tinikwambia hivyo? Yeah, Keti, you don't even need me. Tafuta viongozi wa Meru, what the county government wants done, so that Meru National Park brings some revenue and what have you to the local, to the county government. Go and work out a win-win solution, because we are doing it for Masai Mara, we are doing it for Tsavo. Why can't we do it for Meru National Park? So, mimi nataka niachie hapo, niwaambie it's true what our brother said is true. Tumekuwa na shida pale Igembe North na South, no Central, Tigania West and East na Bori. Sindio? Nilikazana kidogo, unajua I was there for 2 years and I can report the progress I made. When I came into office, we didn't have any equipment for our police. Sindio? But I made sure in a very difficult economic situation, I got money for police equipment modernization. And some of that equipment tukapeleka pale. Si ni kweli? We had logistical operational challenges, which we had started resolving. Na unajua mimi nilikuwa nafikiri nitakaa pale interior 5 years. Kumbe ilikuwa 2 years. So hii kwa hii ya DP nimesema I will treat, I don't know how long I'll be here, so I'll work very hard, because you don't know how much time you have. Mimi nilikuwa nafikiri nitakuwa pale 5 years tumaliza hii mambo yote. Halafu ikasemekana nikuje kwa hii kazi ingine. So there is something I achieved in those 2 years, not just for Meru North. If you go to North Rift today, we have not eliminated the problem completely, but we've suppressed it and made progress. Lamu, where people were getting killed every day, has been calm for 2 years. Meru North, there is still an issue, and we have a solution, which I don't want to announce here, but I will tell it to you through your leaders, because I don't want to publicly say the solution we have, and it has come from your leaders actually, to be honest. So we have a solution of creating a buffer zone in that area to make it impossible for cattle thieves to penetrate and come to our region. But because it's a sensitive security matter, I don't want to announce it here. Let it be known, we have a solution. We are going to complete the remaining part in the fight against banditry and cattle rustling. I have also requested the State Department for livestock to factor in some of the most affected families in the restocking program that we are doing across Kenya. So factor in hapo hiyo sehemu yetu, some of the most affected families, they may not be restored to the situation they were in, but at least of interventions to help them restock and restart their lives. And I instructed the PS for livestock to make sure that Meru North, that the whole affected area gets part of that solution. So I'll be asking the members of parliament from those constituencies to go, wakutane na PS na waziri, wamalize hiyo, kama ile ya Miraa vile imemalizika. Mimi nawashukuru sana. This is how we are going to proceed. You have heard what we are doing in different sectors and pillars what we have done and what we are doing generally. And I've already told you, the only place we have some work to do is the water issue. Hiyo maji ngojea, a few other months I will report progress on water. Waziri knows what I've told him. Lakini stima tuko sawa, barabara tuko sawa. Si namna hiyo? We are also farming up our value chains ya miraa, tea, coffee, cotton, hapo tuko sawa. So vile tutafanya, from here we are going to break into constituencies, the 9 constituencies. We have enough space here. Niliwaambia leo hakuna haraka, leo ni siku ya Wameru. Si namna hiyo? So every constituency na mbunge wenu mukae mahali fulani. Mukubaliane, museme naibu wa rais amesema we are doing markets, KIPES, we are doing roads, but kwa barabara amesema the stored project. For us as a constituency, we want to request that once the stored projects are addressed in future, this is our priority new road, ile ambayo tutaweka kwa program ya huko mbele. Si namna hiyo? Number 2, we have also maybe like watu ya South Imenti, hiyo mambo ya Metongo airstrip, watu ya Central Imenti, maybe the issue of the Jinare, you know, get maximum 5 priority projects that you want us to start planning for. Kwa sababu safari ya kesho upangwa leo. Si namna hiyo? So that even if we are not going to do new roads until we revive the old ones, it's good we know once we finish the current roads, we can have at least in every constituency a priority road. Do something between 3 priorities, minimum 3, maximum 5 per constituency. That break will take 30 minutes. It will take us to 12 o'clock. We will have early lunch at 12. We resume here at 12:30. When we resume here, every constituency to decide the priorities. And when you bring those priorities, you can decide either you give me in written form, ama mtu moja kwa niaba ya constituency asimame aseme, we have consulted as a constituency, this is our priority road, this is our priority project for future, aketi. Hakuna salamu, hakuna protocol, hakuna kwaheri. Na tuelewane please, You know, I'm spending 4, 5, 6 hours with you today so that we help each other unlock the development agenda of our county. Si namna hiyo? Sio ati sikuwa na mikutano mingine. So please, do not hijack this meeting for any other reason. So ule kama ni mbunge ataseme mwenyewe ama mtu mwingine ikubalike, na isikuwe mtu anakuja kusoma hizo resolutions hapa ni mtu wako na vita na viongozi, anapigana na viongozi kila siku. Because today is not the day for that. And on to nonto ndwenu na ibombije. Tunamna hiyo? Ndwenu na ibombije properly. The person who comes, just come. Don't greet us. Just let me read the the agreed priorities. Ukimaliza And I'm the one who will moderate that process. Because everybody in this hall today, order. Imbije kuiboba kuibangite. No, we want to make maximum use of this meeting. And everybody today in this tent is my guest. It's not your guest. When you call your meeting, we will come as your guests. You will treat us the way you want. So please, you cannot come here and use my platform to attack any of my guests. Because you are also my guest. Because you are also my guest. Sinamna hiyo? Yeah. But as soon as we finish, tukitoka, you can now waroke gwaba no yokia madokana hapo kuidete boka yokia madaga boka choka ndoene. Tuende na hiyo barabara. Tuende na hiyo barabara. Because this is a very important meeting. We cannot trivialize it. None of us is permitted to trivialize this meeting, including myself. I cannot misuse this meeting. Sinamna hiyo? So, kuna watu hapa nikiwaangalia walikuwa na plan kidogo. Lakini ni sawa, there is no problem. There will be a day for that. So, once the presentations end, we will take resolutions. This meeting must have resolutions. Sindio? So, we'll take resolutions of the meeting. After we take resolutions, nitawaambia vile tutaambiana kwa heri, but we will recognize all the leaders present. We will recognize all of them. All of them, we will recognize all of them. Na kama kuna mtu ametuma apology, tuambiwe so that we record the apology. Hiyo ndio itatusaidia. Otherwise, I wish you all the best. Mimi niko available. Make use of my office. Make use of my time. Make use of anything that you can make use of so that as Kenya develops, Meru County is not left behind. And because munanijua, if you misuse the platform, we will embarrass you. And we don't want to go there. If you misuse the platform, tutakuembarrass. We don't want to go there. So, alafu baadaye, we will discuss the way forward. Going forward, I have said every year, tutakuwa na kikao kama hiki. But in between, we need a smaller group. And I don't know whether I will ask for ideas, how we get a smaller group, which I can be giving an appointment every 90 days. Okay? Of what we have achieved. In between. If it's a bit difficult, because I know, because kuna siasa mahali, I will find a way of reporting back directly. Nitakuja hapo, niitane hapo Mwendanto ama Kinoru, niseme this is where we are, lakini kuna annual review at the end of the year. I'll find a way of reporting back, but I would like ideas during the break. If we can have a small team, non-political, and please don't try me, musinijaribu. Ukileta utoto, nitapita na wewe. Yeah. Yeah. I am a man on a mission. Yeah, I know what this country and this administration is expected to achieve, and we don't have time. Mimi mwenyewe sileti personal issues. Kwa nini uniletee personal issues zako? Yeah. So if there is a way we can have a smaller committee of people who are not here to discuss another leader, that is not the agenda. Maybe you can have a professional, maybe the PSAs who are from the region can be part of it, some other one or two people. The elected leaders, there is very little you can do to somebody who is in office. If somebody is a member of parliament or an MCA, until they are removed through a vote or whatever, we'll have to manage so that we move forward. So, mutani advise hapo mwisho, we'll need a resolution on a 90-day reporting mechanism for me, because I don't want to wait until the end of the year. I need to report progress along the way. Tuendelee namna hiyo? Tuendelee tusiendelee? Tuendelee tusiendelee? Mutaunga mkono serikali ya kitaifa ili kuinua mambo ya maendeleo katika kaunti ya Meru? Are you sure? Kuna watu wanaandika kwa mitandao ati kuna watu pale Meru hawataki anything from the national government. Wanasema wanangojea kuna serikali nyingine itakuja huko mbele. After 3 years, they are waiting for that government. Mumeamua hivyo? Ati tukae, hatutaki barabara, hatutaki chochote mpaka tungojee serikali nyingine? Are you sure? Kuna watu wanatu-advise hivyo. Wanasema hii tungoje hii serikali, kuna serikali nyingine inakuja. Nasikia iko na Kalonzo, iko na Wajakoya, iko sijui na No, there's no problem. Unajua hao ni watu ya opposition and they have a right to vie for whatever seat. Hakuna mtu ako na problem. Lakini unajua wakati Kalonzo atakuja pale Meru, nitamwambia wewe Kalonzo, my brother, umekuwa vice president 5 years. Toa development track record yako ya Meru County ukiwa vice president, na mimi nitoe yangu. Na mimi nitoe yangu ya miaka 2.5. Yako ya miaka 5, yangu ya 2, yangu ya 2.5. Kwisha. Because he was in a position of influence. Isn't it? Alikuwa katika hii ofisi. Sio mwaka mmoja, sio miwili, 5 years. Yeah. Yes. Si namna hiyo? Si namna hiyo? Yeah. Haitakuwa rahisi. It will not be easy, my friend. Kuna watu wapo wamedanganywa kwa mitandao. They think it will not be easy. It will be very rough. It will be extremely rough. Ambia ulileta barabara gani hapa ukiwa vice president? And you know, for like my brother Kalonzo, he was vice president of a very honorable man called Mwai Kibaki. Isn't it? Very empowering, he's not insecure. If he wanted to assist us siku ile, angetusukumia mambo mengi sana. Na wale wengine pia. Hata wale wengine. So, mimi nataka nikomee hapa, na mimi nawapenda, na mimi najua tutaweka resolution huko mwisho, lakini one of the resolutions, munipatie report ya kupatia rais. Kama mungetaka kufanya kazi na yeye ama hamtaki mambo yake. Sindio? Because we cannot force issues. We can't force ourselves. Isn't it? Na kama mungetaka atembee ama asitembee, hiyo mambo yote tutaamua, ndio niende nimpelekee report. Si namna hiyo? Otherwise, I wish you all the best. Mimi, I'm available at your disposal. I know there are things we can't speak here. There are things we are following up. on for every county to make sure there is equitable access to public appointments and other things that help us build national unity. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Those of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Let us take a break. We resume at 12:45 after lunch. But first, do 20 minutes consultations on the 5 priorities. When we resume at 12:45, we start reporting from minute number 1. Asante sana. God bless you. God bless Meru. God bless Kenya.
Asante sana, tusimame juu bila kuondoka mahali tumeketi kwa sababu ya uelekezi unaofuata. Tafadhali.